I'm Amber Davies and welcome to Call to Stage. This is the space where musical theatre takes centre stage. From unforgettable backstage stories with incredible special guests to insights from my life and my theatre journey. We're leaving it all on the mic every single week, so let's jump in. Hi guys, welcome back to Call to Stage with me, Amber Davies. You are not going to believe who I've got sat next to me. It is honestly one of my favourite bookings this year. It's the, can't believe I'm saying this, sensational David Thaxton.
Thank you very much. Thanks
what
for having
the
me.
helly?
Yeah, hi.
How the F do you go on a theatre date with Jessica Alba?
I was randomly sat next to her.
Oh.
Just sat down. Opening night of Evita, and I didn't recognise her either.
Oh, did you?
I didn't know who she was. She said, "Hello, my name's Jessica." I was like, "Oh, no, to meet." And I said, "What do you do? You know, how do you know these people? Why are you here?" And then somebody was like, "I think I reckon." Yeah. Oh, okay, right, Jessica Alba. She's very nice lady.
Is she?
Yeah.
We had Keanu Reeves sitting in front of us. Then it was you and Jessica.
Yeah.
And then
Pedro Pascal.
Did you see him stand up for Rachel?
And Elaine Page next to him.
Yeah.
And Michael Ball next to Elaine.
Yes, I saw that trio going along. It was just star-studded, and I thought, and you were just there. You know, as a Welsh woman, watching someone from, you know, our home country sitting amongst these people, like, I had a sense of pride. Like, who would have thought?
Jamie's very good with his seating at these things, I must say.
Okay. I had Jamie. I was sitting with Fabian.
Oh, okay, great,
wonderful.
With
Fabian before.
Okay.
I did bring it on with him, and then kind of Jamie was there with his entourage, and it was just epic.
Yeah, he's very, very kind with his seating arrangements at these evenings. Yeah.
I love that. Did you enjoy it?
I thought it was amazing. Yeah, I loved it. She's amazing. God, she's like, but she was legit. And my God, like just insanely. There you go. Who I did on Broadway is like it up.
Oh, a very handsome John.
He is, yeah.
Isn't
yeah,
he?
I mean, he that rugged when I first say in the gym in New York.
Was he?
For some time here.
Wow.
The hair and the beard and
the paint.
And the paint. Yeah.
So, David Thaxton from Neath, South Wales.
Yes.
Ti'n siarad Cymraeg?
Dysgwr dwi.
Yeah, dipyn bach.
Siaradwr newydd.
Okay.
Mae'n anhygoel iawn, ond mae'n anodd I dysgu.
Yeah.
Ond dwi'n trio.
Oh, this is incredible.
Dwi'n angen I siarad mwy.
Yeah. Can I ask, did you compete in any Eisteddfods?
No. Anything like that would have been with Only Men Allowed from Cardiff. But I don't think, did we ever? I can remember I don't think we ever did an Eisteddfod.
No, not even when you were growing up?
No, because I moved to England when I was like 4 or 5.
Oh. Because
my dad was from Norfolk. So I was born in Neath. All my family live in Talbot still. And then I moved to Norfolk, went to school there, and then eventually found my way to college in Cardiff, the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama.
And it was like a full circle moment.
And then, I finished that. Or I say I didn't finish. I left halfway through my second year to do Les Mis. My head of year was fuming. Lynn Davis. And he was like, making a terrible mistake. You're making such an error. It's like, not really. I'm going to go and be Les Mis, thanks.
How does one get an audition for Les Mis in their second year of training?
So it was through, this is a little bit long-winded, but it was through, basically I got, my first professional job was the opening of the Millennium Centre in Cardiff. And the audition I had for that was through my friend and old singing teacher and sort of all-round mentor, Tim Rhys-Evans. And Welsh, very Welsh. And he was the conductor and founder of Only Men Allowed, the choir I was in. And there was this audition for there was 4 boys and 4 girls as part of this sort of chorus to, bind the whole evening together. And he got me an audition for that, and I got it. And the guy who was directing it was a guy called Ken Caswell, who was the original bishop in Les Mis in 1985. Wow. And he went on to be director in town and all over the world and everywhere. And I got really pissed at the after show party.
Standard.
And Michael Sheen was there. It was great. We did a staged section of Under Milkwood, and I played Die Bread the Baker. And my only line, Michael Sheen came behind me and said, in this particular street, Die Bread the Baker turns and dreams of, and my only line was Turkish girls horizontal. It's my only line in the whole thing. But I've acted on stage with Michael Sheen. And we were at the after show party, and I got really, really, really pissed. And I said to Ken, I want to do something else with my life. And he got me an audition for Miss Saigon. It was a tour of Miss Saigon.
Okay.
Going on at the time. It was the famous one that didn't have the helicopter. It had a screen.
Yeah.
And there were opinions about that, I seem to remember. But Ramin was Chris, I think. And Kerry Ellis was Ellen. And I went to the Queen's Theatre and auditioned for Miss Saigon, and they said, you're not right for Miss Saigon, but you are right for Les Mis, we'll give you a call. And I thought, I'll never hear from these people again. And then 5 auditions later, I got into Les Mis.
Wow.
And that was 2005.
That is a great example of go in. If you're going in for a show, the show isn't right for you, but the team, it would be really beneficial to go in front of the team.
Oh, yeah. I mean, God, when you're young...
Audition for everything. Yeah. Is that the advice you'd give?
Yes. I mean, I don't do that now.
No,
but
of course.
When you're young...
The David Thaxton.
Well, it's not that. I say I've turned down a lot of opportunities in my career, some of which has been really, really stupid. But yeah, I'd say, when you're young and you don't know anyone, go and meet everyone. Because you have no idea who knows what. Or, a great MD once said to me, you should, always be nice to your audition pianist because you never know when they're going to be the MD of musical you've just got a job for. And things like that, so you never know who anyone's going to turn into.
Yeah. So Les Mis was your first gig.
It was, yeah.
You covered Enjolras.
I did, yes.
And then you returned as Enjolras.
Yes.
And then back as Javert.
Yeah, so I've done Les Mis a lot over the years. There's 2 years I was Bamatabois and Cofferac, and I understudied Enjolras and the Bishop. And then a year passed, and then for 2 years I played Enjolras, which was just... I just loved that so much.
Really?
It was very, I loved that character. You sometimes you just... There's a role that is just... You instinctively, inherently know every single thing about them, who they are, why they're doing the things they're doing.
Yeah.
Everything, just everything down to the nth detail. That was I'm not sure it's ever really happened since. It was just so perfect. I loved him so much, yeah. And then Javert, God, 4 or 5 years after that.
Oh, really?
And I've been back and forth playing Javert a few times, yeah.
Oh, have you?
Both productions, new production as well as the old one.
Wow.
Yeah, cool.
And when did My Sister Jade slip into this?
So Jade was there. Was that the first year I played Javert? It must have been. Yeah, I think so.
I would have 100% have seen you then.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think
that was my first time as Javert.
Year of college.
Right.
So I was 16.
What was this? 2013.
13.
God, 2013.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was first cover Cosette, and
there
she now.
She was first cover Cosette. She's excellent.
She's back on the world tour as cover Fontaine.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, Les Mis is great like that because as you age, there's something new for you to evolve into.
And they're quite loyal, aren't they? Jade didn't even audition for it; they just gave her a call.
Oh yeah, they're amazingly loyal. Yeah.
Would you go on the world tour if they asked?
No, having just spent 10 months in New York with my wife and my little boy, not there the whole time, I think doing a world tour would be a big ask. So no.
What about 3 months stint for 10 grand a week?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you're out there,
I wouldn't say no. Your wife is friends with Rachel Tucker, right?
Indeed, yep.
Yes, because I'm working with Rachel at the minute.
Oh, okay, of course, yeah.
And she has, and I remember her saying that you were returning home and your wife couldn't wait for you to get home.
I mean, it's coming up to a year since I went to New York. It was September the 6th last year. And Nancy and Callum, my little boy, didn't come for 6 weeks. And then they were there for 3.5 weeks. And then they went back again. Then they came out for Christmas, which that was amazing. They came. My mother-in-law came. Aww. Both my brother-in-law, my sister-in-law, my little niece. Everyone came. It was great. And so they left in January, and they didn't then come back to New York. And I went home and back and forth a few times. But yeah, it was very, very hard.
Let's talk about New York and everything that has happened before that with a specific show.
Yes.
Sunset Boulevard.
So you saw it, right?
I saw it twice.
Did you see it here?
And I saw it in America.
Okay.
I saw Mandy Gonzalez's debut.
Yes, that was a great show. I remember that night. It was a good night. Yeah.
And then I saw it, crazy enough, I saw it in London and Rachel Tucker was sitting next to me. What was the chances of that? Let's just go back to...
Sorry, Rachel was just watching the show?
She was watching the show because she was just covering it.
Yeah. Had she been on yet? So she would, I see. She was just popping in on a day off. Yeah. Right, no, I see.
She's obviously having a show watch.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So I was kind of sitting there like that.
Yeah, okay, amazing.
Did it come into the inbox or was there a phone call?
It was the first thing that came in was my agent said, there's something's come up. It's an undisclosed Jamie Lloyd musical, but it's Sunset Boulevard and Nicole Scherzinger's playing Norma Desmond. And I was like, okay, wow. And I thought, here we go. Here's my chance finally to play Joe Gillis. Dream role. Always wanted to play Joe Gillis. Finally, I mean, got there just in time. And it's Max. I'm sorry, what? And then then I met Tom and you meet Nicole and you say, okay, I see what we're doing. I see how it all works.
I see this, why this is happening.
Yeah.
And what was the audition process like? Easy, hard, long, grueling?
No, very short.
Did they know straight away?
Well, because I'd worked with them before. I did Passion at the Donmar Warehouse in 2010, which Jamie directed, and Alan Williams was MD. So I subsequently learned, Alan told me later, that they were, they kind of basically wanted to bring me back to do something. So it was pretty. You
won the Olivier for Passion?
I did. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Very cool. Thank you very much. So it was a very short thing. It was just sort of film it and so Andrew can sign it off, I think.
Oh, wow. Okay, so they knew they wanted you. Max, as a whole, did you have any type of ritual before going on for him? Like, how did you kind of dig there?
That's really interesting because there was no real ritual in terms of characterization because everything is the way that show was directed. I've never really done anything that was directed in such a specific. Rigid is the wrong kind of word but it also was very rigid. It's kind of the right word as well. Just this very, very, very detailed, very specific way. So the way Jamie directs, there's always a grid. So the rehearsal room had an actual grid, like lots of squares marked out on the stage, numbers and letters. And you spend most of your time around this grid. And we did a lot of me and Tom and Nicole and Shane, who's our main camera, all around as one and learning to live grid. And first that's a bit weird, discombobulating, but what is as an actor I do a scene, but I don't have because I know that existing and living on and within the so it becomes incredibly so the scenes where we'd both be looking to have a dialogue and we front or moving that way, he'd be moving that way. It just means you make the construct of what you think you have to do, slightly cheat and all of that stuff, all gone, all out the window.
Wow.
What's amazing is it means you get in the fastest economical way possible. Once you jump into it, it's amazing. Like it's an absolute gift.
Gosh, I feel like I'm getting a masterclass. I feel like I'm getting a one-to-one masterclass.
It's fascinating. And I went to see Romeo and Juliet shortly after we did it did Sunset Boulevard at the Savoy, and it was like watching a play in a language I spoke. Because it's like, this is great. Like I can see everything they're doing. It just made perfect sense to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jamie Lloyd as a director.
Yeah.
Like, what is it like to work with him? It's like one of my dreams.
It's fascinating. So I've done it twice, and I think I've got a slightly unique perspective on that because the first time we did it was 2010. We were all me, Jamie, Alan. We were just young men really, and I've kind of it was a very stressful situation, very high profile. The Donmar is. Yeah. You come in, there's Alan Rickman, there's Stanley Tucci, there's like Andrew Lloyd Webber's in, Steve Sondheim's in again. Like Steve came all the time.
Oh God, high stakes.
Yeah, in the end he became quite comforting, but like the rest of me just like, and of course it's not like, Pedro Pascal and Jessica Alba and all those people because you can't see those people. Like, Diego couldn't see Pedro Pascal and Elaine Page. But when you work at the Donmar, Stanley Tucci sat 3 feet away from you. There's no getting away from you. You see everyone, they're right there. So it was very high pressure, very high stakes. And we were young guys. And so it was very interesting to sort of have that experience. And then fast forward all these years later, I hadn't actually seen Jamie between the Olivier Awards in 2011 and my meeting for Sunset Boulevard.
No.
And I walked in, and if the guy I met then had walked past me on the street before seeing him, I'd have thought, that's my tattoo artist, Ricky. because he just looked exactly like my tattoo artist, Ricky. And he was just unrecognisable. But he's changed a lot, not just physically, but he's changed as a person loads. And, as we all have, we've all gotten older and everything's changed. And I loved every second of Sunset Boulevard. I loved every second of working with him. It was just, it clicked. I really got it. And it's very exciting. Once you connect to the grid, and once you get that, once you learn the language of the grid, honestly, it's so freeing. It's incredible.
A couple more questions on Sunset. Nicole and Tom.
Yeah.
Your kind of bond.
Yeah.
What was it like working with, someone who's so high profile?
Yeah.
And so, I was breathtaking. My breath was taken away from her voice.
Yeah.
And then Tom Francis, who was just the coolest. This is my perspective.
Yeah, go on.
What was it like to work as a 3, and then you got you as it was just Grace Hodrick Young.
Yeah. Grace's first job.
Oh, God. Grace's first job.
Grace's first job, yeah. I think she'd only just graduated the week before or something ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
And she went straight into Hadestown. And then she left Hadestown halfway through a contract to come do Sunset Boulevard on Broadway. What
was it like to work with a cast like that?
It was amazing. Tom and I became incredibly close. He's like my little brother now. It's funny, when I first came back home, I didn't miss anything about New York. I was so pleased to be back. And now I'm starting to miss things, and I'm sort of settled in. I'm starting to miss stuff about New York. The one thing the thing I miss the most by a mile is Tom Francis. Just he's an extraordinary guy, an incredible talent, and it was just so wonderful to be there to witness this incredibly raw, very talented, very charismatic young man take all this shit that was being thrown at him in all sorts of ways. It was very reminiscent. We talked about this a lot, about what I went through during Passion and what he went through during Sunset Boulevard. So many parallels. And it was very cool to sort of be there and help him through it. And then, by the time we got to Broadway, he was just this man, this incredible leading man who just looked after everyone. And, it was such a privilege to be there. He's so very talented and he's wonderful. Nicole, I'd never met Tom, but obviously I'd never met Nicole either. And that was a real experience watching her work. I've never met anyone who works that hard. She had no lunch break. She'd sit there and eat her, whatever edamame thing that she was eating and just pour over the script. Script, lines, da, 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 da. And she just doesn't stop. She just doesn't stop working. She just, her drive and her desire to be the very best and give the very most of herself is extraordinary. And you can't help but particularly doing the show we did in the way we did it, but then having that amazing experience with the Oliviers and all of that stuff, and then transferring a show to Broadway like that. It's it's like
what dreams are made.
Musicals in the 90s when, that late 80s and 90s when they'd originate in London and then transfer to New York. That doesn't really happen anymore. No. So to do that was incredible, but also it just means you can't help but become just enmeshed with these people. And so, they're sort of forever part of who you are in a way,
That is amazing. And then the last question I want to know is West End v Broadway.
Yeah.
Biggest differences. I have been told that a Brit going out to New York can be quite lonely.
Very lonely. I was very lonely, yeah. And I think it's interesting. Tom was lonely as well. We talked about this a lot. We all kind of were. It's because the thing that really struck me was, I can talk about the West End, the Broadway thing, but beyond that, I was really struck by how different we are as countries and how different we are as people. I'd always thought that America and the UK were very similar countries. We have a shared language and all of this stuff. We don't have a shared language at all. I had to repeat myself all the time. No one understood me ever. And you think about it, it's but we're both speaking English. But actually, if I say I'd like some water, they hear water, but to them that word is water. It's an entirely different word. It sounds different. Everything, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, and you find you have to say restroom and sidewalk and elevator and all this stuff because
Band-Aid,
exactly, and all their words, they just, you have to use them. So you very quickly get over yourself, and then some of them you take with you. I can't say I'm not taking restroom because people look at me like I'm a knob, but bathroom, I'll say, excuse me, where's your bathroom? in a cafe or a restaurant, whatever now, because it's so much nicer than toilet. Where's your toilets are horrible.
Yeah.
So like stuff like that. And that takes some getting used to. So that really struck me. It was really interesting. And, as a group of people, we're so different culturally. It's a really different culture.
Yeah.
And that was really surprising. But like West End Broadway, fascinating. Because like on the one hand, it's very similar because the theatre is the theatre, an auditorium is an auditorium. If I squint, Tom's there, Nicole's there, the set's the same, it's slightly bigger. But, I could be at the Savoy. But then audiences there are like glass half full audiences who are there to be entertained, and they throw themselves wholeheartedly into that. So the second the show starts, people go completely batshit.
Yeah.
Like 8 shows a week without fail.
Entrance applauses.
Yep. Oh yeah. There was no one show, not one show where Nicole didn't get an entrance
standing
applause.
ovation mid-act 1, mid-act 2.
We'd regularly get 3. So she'd get one for both her songs. Tom would get one for Sunset Boulevard. So like, it would just, yeah. And at first that's a bit like, what's going on? But you get used to it. But like here in London, we have more of a sort of reserved, slightly more like more polite, and also I think a bit like, go on then, entertain me. What you got? But then sometimes we'd have the same response here, and when that happened here, you really felt like you'd earned it, and that would be very cool. But yeah, so it's very, very, very different. It's a colossal thing out there. Broadway is so huge, multi-billion-dollar industry. The fact that they post the grosses for each show each week is fascinating.
I know.
Fascinating. And it's just like there
Do you have
for public
TikTok?
consumption. Do I have TikTok? No.
There is one person on TikTok who updates everyone.
There you go. Every single week.
I go and seek and
you
watch
can
it.
And because it's brutal, it's cutthroat, and you can see that show's going to close because it's taken $450,000 this week for 3 weeks in a row, and it needs to be taking 700,000 or 800,000. And you can just tell that, and they will close things at the drop of a hat.
I know. I went to see, when I came to watch you guys, I went to see, what did I go and see? Tammy Faye.
Oh, right, yeah. Brutal.
Their 5th preview.
Mm.
By the time we got home, they were closing.
Absolutely brutal.
Still the preview.
Brutal.
And it was fantastic.
Yeah, it's an amazing show. Amazing cast. But it's brutal. But the thing is, it's so huge there. There's that one of the big differences, I think, is that in America, it's such a massive country. Any country with 4 time zones in it is too big. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. But people will go from, there'll be someone who will come from Ohio or Texas or wherever, and they'll have their 1 week's vacation a year, and they will spend 5 days of that vacation coming to New York, and the center point of that vacation will be going to see a Broadway show. It's colossal. I don't think we really have the same thing here. I don't think people come from Harrogate for their week off, and I don't think it's not quite the same thing. So it's just much bigger. It's just, and the pressure is the pressure's huge.
Is it?
Yeah, it's colossal. It's mad. Really mad.
During your time in America, was there a Broadway show where you went to watch and you thought, wow?
I really, really loved Dead Outlaw, but then that closed, And that's the thing, the Tonys came. It didn't win any Tonys. So off it goes. Yeah. Like loads of these shows that get nominated, huge buzz, and then the second the Tonys are over, boom. And Sunset Boulevard, we did very well. We won 3, won the big 2. The revival was the sort of the one everyone was pinning their hopes on. Nicole winning was very cool. But they sort of gone. Those things that just sort of happened. But I loved it. I was like, I'd love that to come to London. I would love to be in that show. Yeah, it was amazing.
Love Never Dies. No, Passion. Let's talk about Passion at the Donmar. Won the Olivier. How old were you?
28.
Wow.
Yeah.
Describe that entire moment in your life.
God. Yeah, like I said, it was amazing. It was very difficult. I won't lie. It was really hard, very stressful, very tough set of circumstances. And, the show was insanely hard.
I've never seen Passion.
It's beautiful.
Is it?
Yeah, so Steve wrote it in his 50s. I think he said he fell in love for the first time in his 50s, saw this movie, which is based on this book called Fosca by an Italian author called Tarchetti. And it's basically the story of this guy, the character called Giorgio, who I played, who is a soldier, and he gets posted to this outpost in the middle of nowhere, and he leaves behind his girlfriend and meets this, who's the cousin of the colonel, this very intense, very deeply impassioned woman who instantly falls in love with him and makes no bones about telling him how much she's in love with him. And the premise here is that she is meant to be very ugly, maybe an unattractive person. But we had Elena Roger playing it, who's, far from unattractive, but it was her intensity and the sickness in her mind, I think, that we really tapped into. It was so weird. And it's basically his journey from, the show starts with he's in bed with his girlfriend, and by the end of it, he's in a mental asylum.
Wow.
And he did it all in an hour and 40 minutes, and I didn't leave the stage. So it was a lot.
Is there any way? Can we watch that in any way?
You can, actually. It's at the V&A. They recorded it. It's in the archives in the V&A. You can go and... I've never done it, but you can go and see it. It's there.
Okay. Where's that?
The V&A Museum. Where's the V&A Museum? South Ken. There you go.
South Ken. Oh, yeah. I've been there. South Ken.
Yeah, it's
brilliant.
Got archives there, so you can go and see it.
Okay. Good to know, guys.
Yeah. But I was very young. I was too young to do it. Like, I couldn't really handle it. But it kind of made me, really, because once I sort of grew and learnt all the stuff I learnt doing that show, it turned me into, kind of, yeah.
I always think like there's some, you're either a part of a show, a part of a production, or play a role that you're meant to play to move forward.
Yeah.
Do you know what
I
mean?
That was definitely one of them. Yeah. Like it wasn't fun, but it was extraordinary. And, getting to know and work with Steve Sondheim was like,
And how long was that run for?
4 months.
Okay.
3-4 months.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, like, not enough to actually end up in a mental asylum?
No. But, I would sit on the train on the way home going, whoa. Like, what just happened every night? It was a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. But it was extraordinary.
Love Never Dies.
Yes.
Adelphi Theatre. One of my favourites.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful,
I always wanted to work in that theatre because I saw Sunset Boulevard there.
Ah.
It's always been like, I'd love to work in that theatre. And then I did. It's great. What a brilliant theatre.
And do you know what? For me, the Adelphi is so positive. It's
I agree.
happy,
very happy building.
Building.
Very much so.
You played Raoul.
Yep.
How long was this run for?
6 months.
Wow, you've done lovely short runs.
Yeah.
Les Mis, which you've done half your life.
Lots of Les Mis, yeah. Half of that, yeah. But yeah, that was really, really nice. Me and Ramin had a 6-month contract, which coincided with the show closing. But
have you still got a good friendship with Ramin?
Yeah. Saw him in New York, yeah. He's out doing
Ramin.
Pirates of Penzance, yeah. He's amazing.
I love Ramin. I did 9 with him at the start of the year.
Amazing. Oh, God, he's the sweetest guy. We had such a laugh. And getting to hear him sing that song every night was just like, yeah.
Ridiculous.
Thanks very much, yeah.
Aww.
Unbelievable.
I love that you've built, good friendships with people that you've...
Sure. Oh, yeah. I like... Funnily enough, one of my 2 best men at my wedding, I met doing Les Mis, and he always says to me, if you can take one person away, like an actual friend from every show you do, you're doing really, really well.
Yeah.
And there's, I think you have categories of people like that who are like, you just know you're going to be part of their lives forever and they're part of yours forever. Or people that you'll see, you don't catch up with or hang out with, but when you see them, you're like, oh my God, it's like, it's great. I love all that stuff. It's fantastic.
I love that. So you're very down to earth.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome. Candide.
Yeah, that was cool.
I don't know much about Candide. However, my fella did it in his 3rd year production. So you did that at the
Many a Chocolate Factory.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything there.
It's great. I mean, again, tiny.
Is it?
Yeah, tiny.
But apparently it's an incredible musical and it should come back.
Well, I mean, it's an extraordinary music. It's mad.
Is it?
Don't get me wrong. It's totally batshit. People would say to me, what happens, like, who are you playing? I said, I'm playing this guy called Maximilian. What's he like? I said, well, I die twice and I'm alive at the end. So it was, the show is bananas. It's very weird. It's got a lot of writers, but
What's she with batshit crazy musicals?
It's batshit crazy. But Bernstein was writing that at the same time as he was writing West Side Story.
Okay.
So the idea that someone had Maria and Tonight and Glitter and Be Gay and Make Our Garden Grow all coming out of them all at the same time. Like, how unbelievable is that?
I know. It must be on acid or something.
Well, he's just one of the greatest geniuses the world has ever known.
Or just a genius. Not me, just, he's definitely on shrooms writing all of that.
Shrooming his tits off.
Yeah.
No.
Phantom.
Yeah.
God, you've done the most, haven't you? You've literally
It's been 20 years now, yeah.
You've really got so many... You're wearing a striped T-shirt today, but my God, if a man had his stripes, it's you, isn't it?
It's been 20 years. Yeah, it's a long time.
Would you ever play Valjean?
Would love to play Valjean.
Okay. You know, because if you played the Phantom.
Well, it would be having played Javert a few times. It would be interesting to explore the other side of that.
You've got to go.
You know, the other half of that would be very interesting.
You've got to go.
Would be very interesting. Yeah.
I'm going to come see you on your opening night.
Deal.
Found it here
Deal.
first. 10 minutes.
Deal.
Was Phantom quite a what am I looking for here? Lonely.
I can see why you'd say that, and yes, it certainly can be, and I can see why people have thought that before, because there's such. I mean, I don't know what it's like now. Things are, but you know, they gave the building a refurb and stuff, but there was such deference to the character when I was there.
Really?
Like you obviously, you know, you get your makeup done, that takes forever, and not as long as it used to, but it still takes a long time. And then you got to get ready for there's a big entrance, like the stage manager will come and check, like, are you going to make it? Because if you don't make the mirror, we have to stop the show and all of that stuff. So you're like, yes, okay. And then you walk out your dressing room and then it's all phantoms coming, people on there. And it's like, there's just there's so much deference to this character in that building. And then what would happen, we'd finished end of Act 1 and I'd be on the Angel and do all that. That was there's plenty of bits where you think, there's so much iconic stuff.
Yeah.
That if you're a musical theatre geek in your teens, as I was, you know, I was like, oh my God, I really want to play Phantom. And you think, and I can remember being on the boat where we were doing the title song on the boat, and Kelly, who was Christine, says to me, you know, is this cool? Is it what you'd imagine it? But it was like, no, I feel like an absolute pillock. Like, you got a brummie called Pat with his remote control, and Pat was the only one who could do it. So you actually it was amazing when Pat did it because I knew where he'd go, but sometimes you go backwards and sometimes you do it. And so, you know, but the Angel at the end of Act 1, that was very cool. You know, that was like, yeah. And so you'd finish that, great, end of Act 1, and then my dresser, Linda, would be like, quickly, this way, into the lift, quickly into the lift. And she'd ask me, right, yeah. We go in the lift, we go down one floor, and she'd run me into the dressing room and shut the door. And after a few weeks, I was like, Linda, is there any particular reason why we're going in the lift? And I realised at that point I never saw anyone. And it's kind of like, there's so much folklore with these shows, these long-running stuff. There's so much stuff. You've had Johnny Robbins on this before, and he'll tell you about all sorts, like a particular mat when we were playing Enjolras and Javert in Les Mis. He had to take this mat out of the box, put it on the floor, and lie down on it. And he said, "Is there any reason why I have to take like?" And it turns out it was just like one Marius in 1993 had a bad back, so needed a mat, and then it got put into and that's just what happened. Therefore, for the next 15 years. And I said, "Linda, is there any reason why we're getting the lift?" She's like, "No." And it turns out that Michael Crawford just wanted to have a solitary experience as possible because that's what worked for him. You know, great because it's extraordinary. You know what he helped create all that stuff is, you know, it's literally his moves and stuff. But he wanted to live this solitary life and be the Phantom. And I was like, "Can we walk down the stairs tomorrow?" So we walk down the stairs and I can chat to people and then, you know, go to warm up. You don't have to go to warm up. It's like, well, I'd like to go to warm up. So once I sort of stripped that away a bit, it became a lot less lonely. But yeah, you only ever act with Christine. So you have to get on with your Christine.
Wow.
I imagine that would be a nightmare.
Really?
If that didn't work, that would be a long.
Also,
6
there
months,
is like a lot of Christines and Phantoms haven't got along.
Yeah.
You know, that's like
for sure
known in the industry, isn't it?
Yeah, that would be tough. But fortunately, I did. Like Kelly was fantastic.
Oh, brilliant! Well, you seem like you'd get along with everyone. Come From Away.
Oh yeah.
Phoenix Theatre.
That was cool.
How long ago was that?
2019.
Oh, it was recently.
Yeah.
Oh wait, The Come From Away.
The Come From Away.
Oh.
I was in the first cast. I didn't start I took over from David Shannon halfway through the first year.
Okay.
Basically.
Wow.
So I was like in the original cast, but not in the original cast.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
you kind of were. Who was in your who was in that cast?
So Rachel, Tucker,
yes,
Clive Carter.
That's how you know each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know Rachel for years, but yeah.
I should have put the date down from that. I thought you'd done this years and years and years ago.
No.
Oh my gosh! Can I? What is your what's your opinion on Rachel Tucker?
She's the best, isn't she? I'd watch her. It's like fascinating. Because I've known her for years, and obviously she's fantastic. I remember going to see her in Wicked. I mean, Nancy went to a dressing room afterwards. Was like, "That's what I wanted that to be. Thank you." And she, but I've never worked with her. And then watching her, this is really weird, but watching her sing up close is just like, wow. And we'd be on the plane on the way home, and she'd be doing her bit, with just enter Texas, all of that stuff. And I'd lose all sense of acting or anything, because I'd just be like staring at her vocal techniques, like, how is she doing that? But watching it, that massive space, tongue out, like, unbelievable. It's like, it shouldn't make sense, it shouldn't work, but it's like, oh God. Yeah, she's unreal. She's unreal.
Know. Oh, I love that we have that mutual.
But you didn't see her Norma Desmond?
I didn't. Don't. But
fascinating.
I think she has got a recording. She's going to send it to me.
Okay. Yeah, sure. She was amazing.
But yeah, that's probably one of my biggest regrets.
Yeah, she's the real
I
deal.
don't think I could even get a ticket, my love. Because
it got a bit silly by the end.
By the end, everyone knew that she was on a Monday.
Yeah,
and
it got a bit bananas. Yeah, they were always sold out.
Yeah, she's just, for me,
yeah,
like the creme de la creme.
Of course. Yeah.
And then one more thing I want to talk about is Jesus Christ Superstar at Regent's Park.
Yeah. God,
Firstly, do you suffer with hay fever?
Not at that time, no.
Thank goodness.
Yeah. The first time I noticed hay fever was playing Phantom. I was like, what the hell is this in my eyes? And I was like, this is ridiculous. How I was 37 or whatever I was. And you're just like, how is this happening to me now? But no, at that point, no. It was just a joy. And how was,
everyone says you should work at Regent's Park.
Yeah.
It's a truly incredible
It's like
experience.
musical theatre summer camp. That particularly was just
Jesus Christ.
So exciting. Like, every aspect of it was thrilling. I've never done a show where all the creatives were in every day and they'd all talk about things collectively and make a collective decision before moving on. So normally you go you do your rehearsals and you turn up at the theatre and here's the set and here's the lighting, la la la.
Yeah.
Everyone was there. Tom Scott had all his visions all along the wall. There's lots of Kanye West and stuff. All this amazing mood boards everywhere. So everyone knew what piece they were in. Tom Deering was just leading from the front with all his musicality and all these references to all this other stuff. It was so extraordinary. Drew McConey's unbelievable choreography. We did it a year later and sat in the rehearsal room with him watching everyone do it. He's like, God, I was so angry last year. It's like, what do you mean? He said, I was going through a breakup. I didn't realise how angry I was. It was the first time I realised someone, you can put anger into your choreography in the same way you can into lyrics or your acting or whatever. And it was very, 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 very aggressive. But it was just, the band were unbelievable. The sound system we used went from Stevie Wonder at Hyde Park to Glastonbury to us. It was just the most extraordinary thing.
Wow, that's a good...
I loved... I mean, I really like that. It's an understatement. I loved every second of that.
Would you say it's for you, if you could do your top 3 moments in your career, would it be in there?
Our final show in the one we did in the pandemic, so the sort of concert version, which wasn't really a concert.
Yeah.
Musically it's one of the absolute musical highlights of my life. It was because it was the same cast. It was Declan, Tyrone, me, Phil, King, and we were doing Anushka playing Mary at that point. And we'd all done it before. The band was the same. We were just it was one last go. You kind of thought, well, this probably never happen again. And it was just a real it was so deep and so layered and so textured. It was thrilling. And we were doing 9 shows a week as well, which was people going home and crying because it was just and the choreography is so difficult. I mean, I was only in it for 11 minutes or something, but it was exhausting, but in the most rewarding way. It was extraordinary.
Wow, I love that. If you could pinpoint what I know you've had, and your career is just unbelievable, and I can't wait to see the future. But is there one moment where you're like, I'll never forget that?
A few, yeah. There's definitely a few. The two shows that do stand out are Sunset Boulevard, Jesus Christ Superstar, creatively, and the response one. All right, there's that Jesus Christ Superstar we did in the pandemic. The overture started. Originally, we'd all come out to bring all the instruments on and do all. You couldn't do that because we all had to be 2 meters. All this stuff. Everyone came on. At the end of the open, which is actually a replica of the thing, which ends the dun 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 dun. Jesus Christ Superstar motif. All had these face coverings on. Everyone looked like they were going to on Red Dead Redemption 2, and you can see the audience thought, okay, we have to have face coverings. And at that point, when you got to that Superstar thing, would pull them off and take this huge breath. What you see the audience burst into tears. It was
oh my God.
unreal.
That's literally given me Well,